Hello everybody, it's Jen. I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to share the cards that I made using the coffee themed images that I shared on my What I'm Working On #2 video, which is the previous video to this one. And so I've been trying to use my stamps to create a bunch of cards at once, and I'm having a ton of fun doing this. I have never made so many cards in the matter of a weekend than I have been when I'm doing this process. So I really do recommend just picking a couple stamps, coloring them up, and just going for it. So I used the What's Brewing by Simon Says stamp and the Love You a Latte from Lawn Fawn as my main kind of images. So the papers that I chose were Dear Lizzie Neapolitan and The Perfectly Plaid by Lawn Fawn, and I do find that picking the paper prior to coloring has been extremely helpful in order to maximize the use of the images that you color. This one was inspired by Pinterest, so you can see I card lifted it pretty exact. I used obviously different papers and different colors. The two of them look very similar. So I did, put my own touches on it. I decided to put some coffee kind of like spilling on the mug on a lot of them, and then I glossy accented the coffee, I think almost on all of them, as well as the little strips. So I think that's really cute. The next card I'm going to show you is this one. And this one I used the Perfectly Plaid and just used the Lawn Fawn stitch rectangles, which makes it really easy to make a card using just those rectangles, a couple images, and then a sentiment. So that is that one, and yeah, most of these don't have anything on the inside because I'll wait until I send them out. But I feel like this one could kind of be a masculine one too, so that's always nice to have in your stash. So what I did with the papers that were left over is I tried to make little 3x3 cards with them so as to not to waste the paper. So this is the little card that I made using the leftover of this paper here, and it just says What's Brewing, and I used some stickles. So this project has been great because I've been using ribbon, my stickles, and a bunch of things that I haven't really been using lately. Here's a close-up of that one, and I just love having little 3x3 cards. I think they're so fun to send out. So that's those two. I also made a shaker card. I just used a circle die to make the shaker, and it says For You. I colored up the little images, and then as I was saying, I used some ribbon, which I haven't used in a long time. This one says You Make Me Smile, and this is the first time I did the slit in the spine of the card to thread the ribbon, and I absolutely love it. I don't know, it just made it so much more easy, is that a word? No, it made it easier to construct the card with the ribbon. I also made this one here, which was also inspired by Pinterest. I love this because this reminded me of the Lawn Fawn 3x4 card die, which I had, and then I just thought it was pretty. I've never really seen the ribbon attached like this before, just kind of curled over and then stapled. So there's that one, and here's my version. So pretty close again, using the blues and the silvers. So it says You're the Best, and then I stamped some hearts coming up from the steam as well, and just grounded the image a little bit here, and also made it look like a little bit of the coffee had dripped down from the cups. So that's that one. Then I made this card. So this is a gorgeous rose kind of paper from the Dear Lizzie paper set. This green also comes in the paper pad, and it matches the green from the leaves on the flowers. So I just thought this was really pretty. Just really elegant, and I love this kind of see-through, I think it's American Crafts ribbon, but it's very delicate. And then this is Lawn Fawn trimmings with the gold, and I just thought it all turned out really pretty. And this one says What's Brewing on the inside, and I fussy cut some of the flowers and put them in here, and then used the heart from the die cut, which is an Amy Tan die on the inside. And then again, using the leftover from this tag is also a Lawn Fawn tag. So using the leftover, I made this little guy, which is just really simple. And I liked that image or that design so much that I decided to make a second card like that. So again, using the Dear Lizzie paper and then kind of stacking the teacups so it looks like they're dripping because they're kind of wavering. Yeah, I used some more ribbon here that matched this one just to kind of ground the bottom because it looked kind of empty with just the tag. So I really like kind of this idea with a rectangle of paper coming down and then you can see the white, and then I used a white tag backing just to bring that white back in. This card I made using some paper from the Perfectly Plaid and then used this stitch scallop border from Lawn Fawn to just put a little black edge to match the black heart on the coffee cup, as well as the ink color that I was using. So here on most of the donuts you'll see that I put pink stickles. So I really like how that one turned out, and on the inside I just put You're So Sweet. So with a piece of extra paper I made this little 3x3 card, and I actually had this blue one already cut out for another project that was just kind of sitting on my desk that I never used, and it matched the paper perfectly. So I thought I needed to use it. So just again using a circle motif with the sentiment and then the cute little images. They're so adorable. So that's that one. The next set of cards I used this lined paper from the Dear Lizzie set. Well, not set, but paper pad. And I cut out a Polaroid. So this is actually from the Neapolitan 12x12, the Polaroid. But I just love how you're able to kind of frame your images within the Polaroid. It's very simple, yet I think really effective. So this one says friendship has its perks. And then I just colored the heart to go in there the same color as the mug just to bring in the pink a little bit more. So that was one card using this paper. And then I also did this one using the same paper. So just a line of the images, which I think is adorable, and all of the colors match with the colors in the paper. So just put cute little faces on this one, and this one says sending you a lot of thanks. So really easy to do. Like once you color the images, I find that you're able just to kind of put the cards together a lot quicker. And when you are taking the time to color images, like I really like that they're the focal point, so I feel like the cards don't have to be overcomplicated. I also used the matching Polaroid from the 12x12 paper pad to do this one, and I love this one. It's so simple, but I really love it. So use the What's Brewing stamp, and that stamp actually comes so that it's on top, the words are on top of each other, and I didn't think I could cut it, but I did. And if you're afraid to cut stamps, I would say just do it, because I hadn't used this sentiment for the first probably 10 cards, and I really liked it, but I just found the shortness of it, if that makes sense. The square wasn't fitting because I was doing a lot of long sentiments, so I ended up cutting it, and then I used this stamp way more. So don't be afraid to cut your stamps. If it means that you're going to use them more, I feel like it's the way to go. So just using some steam, and then I put some little hearts there. So I really love this one. It's actually one of my favorites, even though it's super simple. This card I made as well, and so using the Perfectly Plaid and a combination of the Neapolitan paper. This stamp comes in the What's Brewing stamp, and I absolutely love it, and I think it looks so pretty on the coffee cup. So I used my Melon Mambo Stampin' Up! Ink for that, and this is just a really kind of pretty hello card that can be sent out at any time, and I just used some craft cardstock to kind of pull in the coffee color. This one, I used the banner paper from the Dear Lizzie line, which I don't know about you guys, but I have so much trouble using the banner papers. So I cut it using the 3x4 stitch die from Lawn Fawn, and then this is the Amy Tan banner die, and just stuck This one was when I was coming down to only having a few images left, so I just popped up the little coffee cup and put enjoy, and I feel like I could put a gift card in this and it would be really cute. So using the leftover paper of that, I made this little 3x3 card. So just really simple, a strip of the paper and then the teacup or latte cup, whatever, on there, and I did glossy accent that whole image just to kind of give it a little bit of something because it is such a simple card, and then using the sentiment to run up the sides. So just a couple other ones. I made this one, so I did paper piece a bunch of the images, well not paper piece them, but I stamped them on paper, and I really like this one. This is the strawberry paper from the Dear Lizzie, and I got it my sprays. I haven't used my sprays in a long time, so this is super simple, you know, stamp the image on a piece of paper, stamp your sentiment, put a banner, you're done. And then the last 3 cards are just little 3x3 cards. So I had some of these to-go mugs sitting there, and I thought this would be super sweet as a 3x3 card. So this one says, "You Mocha Me Crazy," so I did put a heart on the middle one because I kind of feel like this sentiment is a little bit about like love, whether it be friendship or a partner. This one is kind of an anomaly, so I had these pink images left and didn't really know what paper to use, so I grabbed a scrap from the Dear Lizzie 5th and Frolic for this one. I did use the Treat Yourself sentiment from the Treat Yourself mini set from Lawn Fawn, and I thought that was really cute. And again, I think this would be a perfect card with like a coffee gift card. Thanks everybody for watching. I am having so much fun making these images. I think the next ones I'm going to do are going to be with my Spectrum Noir markers. The reason I kind of started this was to practice my watercoloring. I found these images did come out better. I used less paint and more water, but I still think I'm using too much paint. So I just need practice, but in the end I do feel like they came out really well, and I love that I'm building my stash of cards. Like I said, I've never made so many cards in a weekend, so what I do is I usually start coloring them on a Friday and then start putting them together on a Saturday. And so I will make a card, I'll go do some cleaning, come back, make a card, go play with the cats, you know, like go do some more cleaning, come back, make a card. And so like I was able to make all of these in a weekend, which I don't know about you, but normally like I make one card in a weekend. So this is has been, like I said, really fun, and I know you guys are enjoying it as well. So if you want to see more, just leave a comment. Thanks again everybody, and I'll see you really soon. Bye!